When you play the game of throws, you die. There is no winning in the game of throws. There is no winning in this match. Hello, I am Xarkun, and this is World of Warships Legends. Once again, we find ourselves playing the legendary tier French battleship Bourgogne, which has quite regrettably been removed from my port this week by Wargaming. I'll have to complete the Bureau project before I can get my hands on this glorious vessel again, but I want to show you one of the more tragic games that I had in the Bourgogne when it was still in my possession. We're playing the Tears of the Cruiser map. It is an Epicenter game mode, and, well, take a look at our destroyer. He's entering the center, uncontested. He's going to take the entire ring, all three of them, and we're going to maintain our hold on the ring for the entirety of this game. And yet, my team is still going to throw. Turns out, when there is a circle on the map that can turn either blue or red, it's a good idea to try to turn that circle blue if you want to win, and it's a good idea to play around that circle. Or play inside of that circle, really. In the case of Epicenter, the only ship that's really playing inside of the circle is the destroyer, and that is going to come back to bite us. Meanwhile, all the blue ships and all of the red ships are moving on to either flank. Yamato here, coming around the corner, not really paying attention to what's going on and giving us broadside. You certainly don't want to do that to the Bourgogne, because even if the first salvo is disappointing, you can just pop the reload booster and the next salvo is sure to be better, or at least you hope it would be. We Citadel the Yamato, 3 times there, and we've already done 78,000 damage with our opening volley. Well, opening 2 volleys. I suppose we hit the GK across the map pretty hard early on. But here is where things are going to start to go pear-shaped in this game. Note that there are, 2 Yamatos and a Montana? Or is that third one a Yamato as well? I don't know. 3 battleships around this island. We're concealed from them, protected from their fire. So was the cruiser next to us. But for whatever reason, when he decided to make the turn around this island, he thought it would be a good idea to point his bow straight at the battleships. We Citadel one of the Yamatos out there, but it is not going to be enough to save this guy from his own choices. He is broadside in front of all 3 battleships, and, well, it's just a matter of luck that he wasn't taken out before then. Not to be outdone, however, the other battleship that has followed me up this flank, which I think is a Montana, well, he's going to do the same thing. He must figure that he is a battleship, so he's got more armor than a cruiser, and if he pulls out broadside in front of 3 enemy battleships, things are going to go really well for him, I guess. Maybe that was his thinking. If so, obviously he was wrong. I think he appeared on the screen at full health. Now he has essentially no health. The Yamato directly in front of us has gone down, which is nice, but I'm noticing something developing on the other side of the map. On this side of the map, the enemy Yamato and the other enemy Yamato, or actually it was a Montana. It was a Montana all along. Both of those 2 red battleships are turning around and retreating. There's no point in pushing into them and following them. Instead, what we need to do is turn around and go toward the other flank on the map, because there are 4 red ships over there versus what appear to be 3 blue ships, and 2 of those blue ships are cruisers, while 2 of the 4 red ships are battleships. So that side of the map is going to need some assistance. Also, our destroyer has gone down after heroically taking the entire epicenter. Not sure exactly how that happened, but that is also not ideal. In any case, we need to maintain our hold on this cap. You can see we're at 689 points, quickly approaching 700, and we only really need to hold on to the objective for just a little bit longer to reach 1,000 points. That's kind of why Epicenter as a game mode, in my opinion, sort of sucks, because nobody plays the objective. I guess I'm guilty of that. If you look at how I've been playing the game up until this point, I too, along with the rest of my team, went onto a flank, had some good success there, did 128,000 damage to some battleships, but, well, now the enemy team is starting to enter the epicenter. I think one of the cruisers was turning it red, so we need to protect our holdings here if we want to move. The best way to win this game mode is to take the objective. Surprise, surprise. Basic knowledge, I'm sure it comes as no shock to you. But after you take the objective, you have to protect the objective. So, Musashi in there, we've citadeled him. That's our 5th citadel of the game against a Yamato-class battleship. I've been told the Bourgogne is ineffective against those, but here's some evidence to the contrary. The Musashi has gone down. The red cruiser may be about to enter the ring again. We don't want to allow that to happen, but we've just crossed the 800-point threshold, and we're really not that far off from winning this game. So long as the enemy team is not able to stop our points accrual from all 3 of the rings, and so long as we don't lose a ton of ships. I suppose, after having said that, you can sort of guess where things are going to go next. As we make our way into the center, we note the enemy ships pushing in toward the blue team on that northern flank up there. There's 1 battleship left and 1 cruiser. I think both of them are on fairly low health, or at least the cruiser is, so he's probably not going to be around for too much longer. But here is where we make what I think is the big error of our game. In our defense, we're at 916 points and counting. We're getting like 9 points with every tick. So it's only a matter of maybe less than a minute before we win this game, at least theoretically. So maybe we shouldn't have pushed so close to the center. After all, there are 3 ships over there on that side of the map. We've got some islands blocking them from us, but some of them are probably going to be able to get hits on us, and one of them is a Yamato. Meanwhile, a Des Moines is actually moving into the objective, and I'm not aiming at him for some reason. I really should be, though, because this Des Moines move is actually going to prevent us from winning this game. If I had taken this guy out immediately, maybe we would have had a better chance, but I wasn't paying attention to him. Improper target selection on my part, and thus, before he goes around this island here, we're only able to shoot 1 salvo at him, which is pretty much ineffective. It only does 4 overpens, and the Des Moines is able to get away, put the island between himself and our guns, and keep himself safe as he moves right into the center of the epicenter, which is going to completely stop our accrual of points. And note that we're at 988. Okay, we still have some points coming in because the Des Moines hasn't reached the center. 991, 994. And that is where the accrual of points stops. 6 points away from winning this game, all because we didn't sink the Des Moines. If I had this game back, I would have shot at the Des Moines as soon as he was visible on my screen, and I would have kept shooting until either he was dead or he got himself behind that island. He may still have gotten himself behind that island and won the game, but maybe we would have had a different outcome here. Also, I think maybe I should not have gone as close to the cap as I did, because being that close really allowed the enemy team to do a lot of work on me there. But at this point, there's no way we're going to win this game. We might have won it if I was able to survive, but that would necessitate being further away from the epicenter. And we might have won it if this friendly battleship was able to survive. But all he's doing is bow tanking, which in this context is not really a virtue. It's not going to keep him safe. He is able to take out the 1 enemy battleship there, but he's giving broadside to battleships over there, and being as still and slow-moving as he is makes it very, very easy for the Des Moines to spam him with high explosive, so it's only a matter of time before he loses his final hit points, and we tragically lose this game. So here's a good example of why I think Estuary is kind of an annoying game mode. I've said it in the past, but not really elaborated on it. And a friendly reminder to always play the objective and not get hung up on shooting battleships when there is a cruiser inside the objective. Hopefully, you can learn from my mistakes and play better games than this in the future. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.